Coach Reirden, you touched on the goalies for a second there. Last night, a bit of a departure for the Caps. A goalie battle broke out between Holtz and Carter Hart of Philly, and luckily, you guys wound up on the better end of it. It hasn't been a wide open game like you've seen in some of your games leading up to the Philly game.
Yeah, we talked about it between the second and third, and that's the first 1-0 game we've been in all year through 20 games. You don't see that very often. That's a little bit of the NHL right now, especially in the first 20 games. But we end up giving up one on their power play, and a good play that they executed, and then I liked our response in that game. The last 10 minutes we started to really push back, and we're able to get some opportunities there to win it in regulation, and then we go to OT and then win one in the shootout. So it's something that's definitely been a trend this year in the NHL, the number of overtime and shootout games early in the year. So that'll be something we continue to work on in practice when we get going after this weekend.
By the way, Coach, I give Holtz a 10 out of 10 for his jump to avoid Jacob Voracek as he slid into the goalpost last night. First of all, that had to be really painful. You could tell Voracek was dinged when he got up from colliding with the goalpost, but of your guy Holt to be able to jump clear of him.
Yeah, he's the things he can do in that goalie gear are phenomenal. He's a great athlete, and obviously, you don't put together the type of seasons that this player's had. I mean, how many wins over the last 6-7 years is says it all. And he's cup winner, and he had a little bit of a tough start this year, and that happens, and I wasn't worried about it at all. And last night for me was his best game, and hopefully that he can build on that this weekend here.
So, Coach, obviously everybody's been talking about ridiculous, and of course Ovi's just a machine. He just always is there. But then it looks like we might have kind of the old consistent Kuzi back, right? He missed the first 3 games, but he's got 18 points, through his 17 games. And it looks like you're getting some more consistent, the kind of Kuzi that you're always looking for.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously last night, they're held off the board. He still scores in the shootout. But that line has been tremendous and a big part of why we're able to, pull out some wins, prior to last night. So they were really great chemistry, and he's been doing not just the scoring. It's his face-off percentage is obviously much improved, and play away from the puck, and that's some stuff we worked on early in the year, and held back his minutes a little bit earlier in the year and kind of refocused and reset. And to his credit, he's, I really think since Vancouver, when he scored those 2 games that kind of helped us come from, being down 4 goals that night, I think he's really put together a nice string of hockey, and happy for him. Obviously gone through a lot, and, he's putting the time and effort in, and we need him. Let's not kid ourselves. We need to have him playing like that. If he plays like that, then we are a very dangerous matchup team with what we have with Ovechkin and Backstrom and Oshie on that top line, and then we get Richard Panik going here and with Lars Eller, and then our fourth line last night scores a goal for us with Leipzig, and now we become a really tough team to play against.
Joined by Caps head coach Todd Reirden, driven by Sheehy Auto Stores and Sheehy.com. I know most of the focus on Carlson has been for his offensive exploits so far this season. Currently tied for, had another apple last night. He had a pass up the center of the ice last night to Panik, and I think Dougie Fresh is going to show it on NBC Sports Washington here, where he split the defenders and almost sprung thing of beauty. So not only is he playing, stout defense, he's scoring, his passing is crisp. I mean, he's just doing everything right now for the Caps.
Yeah, he is. I mean, looking at that, we talked about it in October. What a phenomenal month, and rightfully so earns the honor of Player of the Month, and for a defenseman to put up those type of numbers are outstanding. But I've liked that John hasn't veered off of his plan, and in terms of what is expected of him. I mean, he's taken over that group on the back end now without Niskanen, and Orpik was the challenge to him, wearing a letter on his jersey now, and really kind of taking charge of the other defenseman back back there during the game, and he's not just, it's not all offense, it's not all power play. He's playing the other team's top guys, he's defending, and him and Michael Kempney are back to the form that we saw in the past. And they've been an outstanding pair for us. But I'm real happy with how John's season's gone. Obviously, it's a phenomenal start, one of the best ever as a defenseman. So happy to have him, and he put the time and the work in, and takes pride in every time he's on the ice, and it's been a great start for him.
Coach, I'm stealing this from our friends at japersrink.com. The Caps have 7 players on the roster with at least 5 goals this season. For a long time, there was tremendous pressure on Ovi to always carry the scoring load year after year. That hasn't been the case this season. Everybody's chipping in.
Yeah, he's getting his chances, and he obviously still scoring goals when at a normal rate. So he's not falling off. But for me, and we saw it a little bit last season with our team, is to try to get those first working and trying to get those as many double-digit scores as we can, and goals coming from different spots. And now we'll see how things progress from there once we start to get a little bit healthier with Richard Panik feeling better, and then when we get Hagelin back. And then the contributions from our blue line obviously have helped. But, it's nice that, like I said, that's why the Kuznetsov's line is so important, so that it's not just every time the other team can match up against Backstrom, and now they have a choice they have to make, and we're making it difficult on other teams right now.